Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here, or you've been here before but have not subscribed yet, please do so, along with hitting that thumbs up button for me and dropping your comments. Love the comments. Love the comments. They help me a lot. All right, what a day. An amazing day today. It was the trade deadline, February 8th. And the Knicks did some wonderful things. In my opinion, the Knicks upgraded this team tremendously, brought back the depth that we had lost, but they improved on it in terms of consistency and in terms of outside perimeter shooting and playmaking. That's right. But tonight, the Knicks also played a game against the Dallas Mavericks at Madison Square Garden. They lost 122-108. They only had 8 guys in uniform, and 2 of them were Jacob Toppin, that's right, Obi's brother, and Charlie Brown Jr., along with Taj. And then at the half, right before the end of the first half, Isaiah Hartenstein landed awkwardly on his left foot, the one with the Achilles tendinopathy, and didn't return the rest of the game. So that's another Knick dropped. Yeah. It's unfortunate because we were already down. Jalen Brunson didn't play. Jericho Sims didn't play. Julius Randle's still out. OG Anunoby is out. And we traded away Quentin Grimes. And Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks were not available because the trade just happened today. So hopefully they will be available for Saturday, and that'll be exciting to watch. And I hope Brunson will be available. Brunson looked like he could have played tonight, so it was smart to just rest him since, we were going to have a depleted squad anyway. It was going to be a difficult win anyway. With all that said, this drastically depleted Knicks team gave a tremendously valiant effort out on that floor, and there was a moment there they forced the Dallas Mavericks to keep their starters in for most of this game, most of that fourth quarter. Only until the very last minute or so or even like 2 minutes, did the game look like it was out of reach. Of course, the players were going to be gassed. It was going to happen. But mostly, what I'm going to go over the game. I have no highlights, but I'm going to talk more about the trade itself and its ramifications and potentially what's going to how it's going to impact the team itself. We're going to talk about the rotation and just kind of recap it in case you didn't see the live that I put out today. I went live. I spoke for like 2 hours on it. Had a great turnout, great crowd. Everybody's hyped. Most everybody's hyped. So let's get to it. Here we go. Also, I have some videos. Actually, I want to show you guys something right now. These guys, and Leon especially, deserves all the flowers. Here we go. This was shown during the broadcast on TNT. Look at Leon just pounding his chest, pointing to someone, I love you. He must be pointing to Tom Thibodeau. Actually, I have no idea who he's pointing to. But there you see, July 12, 2022, acquires Jalen Brunson, Isaiah Hartenstein, and re-signs Mitchell Robinson. February 9th, 2023, a year ago, traded for Josh Hart. The Knicks went on a 9-game winning streak and rolled past the first round over the Cavs and made it difficult for Miami Heat. Took them to 6 games. Then December 30th, 2023, the Knicks traded RJ and IQ and acquired OG Anunoby and Precious Achiuwa. And then today, February 8th, 2024, Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks come to the Knicks. 2 guys shooting over 40% from 3. Outstanding. Deserves all his flowers right there. But someone isn't as moved by this trade as I am. And I'm going to talk a little about that, but I want to show it to you first.
Pick up a good Bogdanovic and Burks. However, is that going to get you over the hump and deliver a championship? I'm not so sure that's going to happen. So I look at it from that standpoint, and I'm not completely sold on that. But it's not like they went in a negative direction. They went in a positive direction. They built depth. They didn't sacrifice any first-round picks. And so because that has happened, I'm pleased with it. I'm just not overly excited for it because I've yet to see a move that has made me say the New York Knicks might win the championship. I haven't seen that yet. and that's what I'm waiting for.
So they'll be in the conversation, but they haven't made the move quite yet.
No.
Yeah.
I like to pick up a good Bogdanovic and Burks.
So he's in the minority. If you caught anybody talking about this trade today, everyone is clearly on the side grading this an A+ move for the Knicks, for this team, for this final stretch run, these last 30-something games, 31 games, and then going into the playoffs. This was an excellent move, and I totally disagree. This does move the needle. What he wants is the big flashy thing, because so then he can say, oh, I called it. LeBron comes to the Knicks, all that stuff. He was thirsty for Donovan Mitchell. He was willing to give up anything for Donovan Mitchell. Meanwhile, Cavs made the trade, and we spanked their asses in the first round last year, and we probably will do it again this year. So, and this time, all these trades have been made. This team has been upgraded, and with players that play the right way. We've surrounded Brunson with several three-point shooters, which is what you need to do in today's game, and let Brunson just cook, find the guys that are open, and let him punish teams in the paint with those dervish moves that he makes, those pivots. Love it, the step through. And then we have Julius Randle, who hopefully he will heal, and I think he will. He's on the mend. They were both on the bench tonight, Julius and Jalen, in street clothes, supporting their team. Their 8 guys that were out there. Yeah, he's way off here. It's just not a flashy move. So, and look, anyone who wears a purple blazer definitely likes flashiness. So, I respect Sass, but he's off here. All right, let's get to here. One thing I want to show you. I'm going to show you this. No, we'll go. This is what we're going to do. Let's get into the game. We'll break the game down quickly, and then we'll get back into the trade talk. Before that, just to recap this, in case you guys did miss this and you're just hearing about it now somehow, you're under a rock all day, or you have a life and you're busy, Full trade, per ESPN sources, Knicks get Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks. And, you guys remember Alec Burks was on this team before. And the Detroit Pistons get Quentin Grimes, Malachi Flynn, Evan Fournier, Ryan Arcidiacono, and 2 second-round picks. Now, I'm sad to see Quentin Grimes go, and I do think he's going to be a high-quality defender and starter in the NBA. He's a prototypical 3-and-D. He's a great point-of-attack defender, and he has more to his game than we have seen this season. This was definitely, a step back in his career this season. However, you got to remember, last year when he was inserted into the lineup, the Knicks turned this season around, and they became a winning team. So we can't forget that. It's tough to see him go, but we got 2 guys that will do what Grimes does, not the defense part, the offense part, but they'll be doing it much more consistently. So that's what we need right now. That's the negative of young guys. They can go through droughts. They can have 3 bad games mixed in with 2 good games. Now, you need guys who give you 4 good games, maybe 1, mediocre game. You can't have such flux when you are trying to contend for a title, which the Knicks now can do. All right, here we go. So the Knicks lost 122-108. Precious Achua, Isaiah Hartenstein, Miles Deuce-McBride, Josh Hart, and Dante DiVincenzo was the starting unit. Dante went crazy. Look at that. 36 points, 7 of 12 from the three-point line. 13 of 26 overall in 43 minutes. He played 43 minutes. Deuce played 45 minutes, a team high 45 minutes. Precious Achua played 41 minutes. And it's ironic because both Precious and Deuce probably will be out of the rotation once everybody is healthy. But that was an issue because, as you can see, Isaiah only played 15 minutes because he there's no official word, but he landed awkwardly on that left ankle, which is what bothered him, his Achilles, so he had to leave the game. And at the time, he had racked up 10 points in that first half, so he was having a nice game. Deuce did struggle from the three-point line today, but give a yeoman's effort, 21 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. But look at Precious, man, double-double, 13 points, 16 rebounds for him, 6 of 9, and even hit 1 of 2 from the three-point line. I think it was a corner 3. But Josh Hart, who he got off to a weird start. He picked it up in the second half, but he finished with a triple-double tonight. 23 points, 12 assists, 10 rebounds, 3 of 8 from the three-point line. His three-point shot looked a little better today, but he did make some mistakes, committed some turnovers, and inside the arc, what did he finish? He was 5 of 14. Not that efficient inside the arc. He missed some bunnies. Uncharacteristic for him in general. It gets a little wild when he's out there. And then, Jacob Toppin scored his first points as an NBA player tonight. Shout out to him. He will be in the slam dunk contest to see if he can do what his brother did. Excellent for him. Taj, in 22 minutes, he was gassed in that second half because he had to play almost the whole thing. He had no points. And Charlie Brown Jr. did hit 1 3-pointer to get 3 points there. So, the Knicks ended up shooting 37.8% from the three-point line, but only 44.7% overall. And in the plus-minus column, you can see everybody was pretty much double-digit minus, except for Taj and Jacob Toppin. It's going to be one of those games. This is going to be a tough game. I mean, Dallas, as you can see, they have their starting unit here. Kleber, Daniel Jones Jr., Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic, and Josh Green, I think that's his name, Josh Green, who is tremendously athletic, that guy. Incredible dunk that he put into the game. Talking about great dunks. Deuce dunked on Kleber. Little 6'2" Deuce dunking on 6'10" Kleber. Beautiful. I love that moment. Once again, Timmy Hardaway Jr. punishes his former team in his 30 minutes, 5 of 10 from the three-point line to give them 19 points. And so you can see they played a tight rotation as well. They played just Josh Hardy, Dwight Powell, and Timmy Hardaway along with those starters. So they were going for this. They didn't want to what I liked about what the Dallas Mavericks did in terms of playing this depleted Knicks team, they didn't take them for granted. They played them tough, and the Knicks just kept hanging around. They kept hanging around. Finally, they created some distance in that fourth quarter. These guys are just tired out. Some of these guys rarely ever play that many minutes, so it was bound to happen. And they shot almost 43% from the three-point line tonight, 18 of 42. And overall, they shot 52.4%. So even when you look at those numbers and you consider we only lost by 14, it's pretty impressive in terms of the effort. The Knicks, we hit 10 of 11 from the free throw line, but they went to the stripe an additional 10 times, and that definitely hurt. That's a plus 7 points right there for them. We did out-rebound them, and we owned the offensive glass once again right there. 14, we were a plus 8 in that stat. Assists, we reached 27, which normally amounts to a win. Not tonight. Dallas had 29. 5 steals for the Knicks, 7 for the Mavericks. We did commit 14 turnovers, which was rough, but we were able to capitalize off of their 9 turnovers with our 12 points. They got 17 points off us, so they were a plus 5 right there. Fast break points, they were 22 to 15, so they were plus 7 there. Points in the paint, 48 to 40 for the Knicks, so we were plus 8 there. So in a lot of we never led, and we were once down by 20. Okay. Here we go. This is the new New York Knicks. Thanks, shout out to Hoop Central for tweeting this out. Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, both all-stars. They will probably both be all NBA players by the end of the season. OG Anunoby, he one day may end up being an all-star, but he will definitely be on the all-defensive team and may win Defensive Player of the Year eventually. He could even do it this year. Unfortunately now with his injury, just to touch on that, it was reported today that because yesterday we heard it went from elbow inflammation to a bone spur irritation, and then after the trade deadline was over, it was announced that OG actually did have surgery to remove the spur, and it will probably take in 3 weeks they're going to reevaluate him. So that's fantastic news, because I was worried, because he's not the type of guy who likes to play through pain. This is what we have heard. He's more of like a Kawhi guy, and so that's why he ends up missing a lot of games. And so in this case, I'm glad he went and got the surgery, because then if he hadn't, he'd just be taking cortisone shots and he'd be doing treatment, and he probably would miss who knows? Of every 6 or 7 games, he might miss one, or even 2. And so he'd constantly be out of the lineup, and it would hurt our continuity because we really want these guys to have a period of time where they're sharing the floor together so they can get back to what they were doing before and also start sharing the floor with Bojan and Alec Burks and see if they can create some chemistry there because we need it. And we also found out that Mitchell Robinson will be doing some on-court activities after the All-Star break. So that's good news. Maybe he'll need another, 5 to 10 days to get back into game shape. So we should be seeing Mitch Robinson back on the floor with the Knicks, which is good because Isaiah Hartenstein needs to rest that Achilles. It's the only thing. It comes from overuse, so he's going to need to rest that. So we need him back as soon as possible. What other news was there? I think that was the big news. Josh Hart, Alec Burks, Precious Achiuwa, Isaiah Hartenstein, Deuce McBride, and Jericho Sims. That is a solid lineup. That is a contending roster right there. If you remember way back, I put out some videos talking about like the formula for winning a championship. Things have kind of been altered because the salary cap makes it difficult to have too many players on max contracts on one roster. But they always used to say you need three stars, and at least one of them has to be a superstar, and one of your 3 have to have been on an all defensive team. And one of your 2 big ones, your 2 big stars, had to have been an all-NBA guy. That was the formula for championship teams all the way back to the Dallas team when they didn't have that. I think that was 2007 when they won. So for about 16 years, that was the formula. Well, the Knicks actually are meeting that criteria because Jalen Brunson, it's decided already, he is a superstar. Everyone heard LeBron James praise him after they beat the Knicks, and he rested for 3 days and then rested during the game so he could be there in the fourth quarter to try and stop Jalen Brunson so they could pull that game out. And let me tell you, and I mentioned this in the live, if any of the other guys had just done their job offensively, we wouldn't have had that 7-minute drought, which allowed the Lakers to take the lead and then pull away. Knicks would have won that game. And remember, we didn't have OG or Quinton or Julius. So that's what we're talking about with Jalen Brunson. And LeBron said he is playing way above an all-star level right now. So that is a superstar. That is a top 10 type player. And in my opinion, he is a top 5 offensive weapon in the NBA at the moment. Julius Randle, he fits the role of an all-NBA player. He's done it twice. He might even get it again the third season. He became an all-star. He's a 3-time all-star, so he meets that criteria. And then we have OG Anunoby, who will be a defensive player of the year, and along with Mitch Robinson. Mitch Robinson has that potential as well. So we also have players that can shoot that 3. So we got Brunson, DiVincenzo, Bogdanovic, Josh Hart, 4 guys, and when you go even further, Deuce McBride, 5 guys that are all shooting over 40% from the 3-point line. That is a formula for success in today's NBA. I cannot wait to watch this team when they're healthy. I can't wait, guys. It's going to be awesome. This graph is from Dunks and Threes. This will show you, so you can see, this is all the 3-point shooting in the NBA currently at the moment. All right, the bottom line is getting cut off there, which says post-game recap. That's people shooting 30%. And you can see the cluster is around between 40% and 35%. So let's just call that around 37%. So that's the break point right there, 37%. If you're above that, you have elite 3-point shooters. Now you can see, you can't quite see Dante's name because they're kind of all bunched up together because they're all shooting like 41.1. 41, so they're very close together, but 5 guys shooting 40% or better, which Deuce up there is the highest. So Dante's there, Bogdanovic, Jalen Brunson, and Alec Burks. And also before Julius got hurt, since the OG Anunoby trade, there had been a return of his three-point shot. He was shooting 31% overall for the season, but since January 1st, he has been shooting 36.3%. Nice. So it's climbing, and I think he could probably get up there to that 37%. He's got a good three-point shot, and now he's getting better looks, more open looks. This is such a great story that's happening right now. Recap some of the tweets that I highlighted in the live because I love them. Tommy Beer, among all players averaging more than 6 3-pointers per game in 2024, so that means since January 1st, since that trade, only 4 are shooting above 45% from downtown. Karl Anthony Towns, Lauri Markkanen, and Alec Burks and Bojan Bogdanovic. So there you go. Now we have 4. We have 2 of the top 4 elite high volume three-point shooters. Remember, that is another important thing to note when you look at this graph here. Except for Miles, the other 4 are all high volume three-point shooters. So we're not talking about guys who put up only 4 attempts per game, 3 attempts per game. These are guys that are putting up 7 attempts per game, 8 attempts per game, 10 attempts per game. So high volume, high efficiency, Brunson, Randall, OG defense, Mitch, Isaiah Hartenstein, who is the top defensive player right now, according to Dunks and Threes, in terms of their defensive EPM, estimated points plus minus. I mean, we're looking good. We just have to get healthy. That is the key. And to kind of actually shout out here, Xavier Justin, excellent tweet. Love the way you put this together. Bogdanovic is shooting 40% on catch and shoot threes and 47% on pull-up threes. Beautiful. He takes 8 threes per 75 possessions. Burks is shooting 41% on catch and shoot threes and 38% on pull-up threes. He takes 10 threes per 75 possessions. Beautiful. Oh, man, I am so excited by this. Yes, down to the last line, this will be the best spacing Brunson has ever had. All right. You guys, we are incredibly fortunate to have this guy here taking care of business for us. Despite the fact he never talks to the media, despite the fact that he only puts out these press releases once in a while, he really has put together a tremendous team who actually is going to compete for a championship this season if everything goes well health-wise, and he still has his 8 first-round picks to use in the offseason. If we had made that Donovan Mitchell trade, we would not be in this position right now. That is the facts. All right. Thank you so much for watching this. Again, follow me on Twitter, subscribe to this channel, share this video, hit that thumbs up button for me, and drop your comments. Really appreciate that. And I just want to thank all the subscribers, everybody. We're over 8,136 already. We're trying to get to 10,000. I would love that. Not sure we'll make it by the end of the season, but you never know. If the Knicks keep riding high like this, the enthusiasm has been unbelievable. Look, just smiling all day. All right. Thank you guys for watching this. I will see you around the Knicks-Verse. We're going to kick everyone's ass. Let's go, Knicks!